Well, hello Glue Troopers, and welcome back to the Tarbis. It's good to be back after my 4-day safari. Had a lot of adventures out there, including a stealth mode Coast Guard C-130. They were calling that airplane on a beautiful clear blue day. This is a big white and orange Coast Guard C-130, and we're looking and finally we saw him and like, wow, even big bright white airplanes like that are just a speck and hard to see if the sun doesn't hit them just right. We finally saw him, and no issue, no traffic issue. It was just to stun me how hard it still amazes me how hard it can be to see airplanes. I mean, you're looking right at them, but you just can't see them. A hint of haze and they just sort of disappear. So anyway, to models. I started painting the road builds, and of course just some kind of quick and dirty paint jobs on the Foxbat. I started playing with using a magic marker for the black just to see how that would work. And I put this sort of air superiority gray scheme on the left one. I'm not going to paint the MiG-21. I just kind of like that rough silver look that it's got, and I just temporarily have it on a stick until I make a stand for it. So I also got started on, continued on the Buffalo and got a little bit of work on that. But actually, most of what I was doing today was trying to tidy up the Tarbis a little bit so I could arrange things. I've got so much stuff in here, it's barely room to move, and I'm in a constant state of tidying up and cleaning up and trying to make workspace. So a couple of boxes showed up today, so let's hop to unboxing. This first one is from Ed, and he says, again, the boxes, I've cut them open. I did pull this letter that was on top out of one, but I haven't been through them yet. G'day Max, finally got the Revell 5As, SE5As on the way to you, plus a few other kits. One has never been opened. I thought you might check with Mike Machat to see if he had one in his collection. If not, pass it along to him, and it's up to you, of course. I have 2 more SE5As going to you in the next shipment. I would have shipped them this parcel, but I can't find them as I put them away someplace safe. We've all done that. We are getting ready to move, so there's a stuff all over the place. I will be culling out and downsizing as the summer goes on, so you can expect several more parcels from the great Styrene River in the north. There is no one in our area who is interested in model building. That's just kind of sad. I tried to get a couple of young fellows interested, and it was going well until they discovered girls. Ed, north of 56. I, like the rest of us, we all love girls. We're probably, most of them probably married to one. But they do seem to be the mortal enemy of the young man's model building hobby. But then we mature, wisdom sets in, and we get back into building models. Right? Nothing special about this magazine, just 30 years old. Okay, that's a post-it that must have come off something. Let's see what we have here. This is the magazine. Scale Modeler. A ball, let's see, he said it's 30 years old. Where's the date? August 91. Always nice to have a blast from the past. Well, even then they still had color photos. The Bubble Top Corsair. All right. Let's move on to see what else is in the box. Box. Oh, this is great because I have the comps for a lot of these. So that's what these boxes are. Here's the Revell 1/72 scale Camel, which I have the comp for that, so that'll be with that. Here's an original SE5. So I was collecting the SE5s because I plan to make several different ones to put there with that comp. Here's the SPAD 13 comp, which I have the comp for. I believe that's the one I have the comp for, because they're all Revell. Another SE5. I think I'm going to set up sort of a production line with these. I'm getting ready to get cranking on the World War I aircraft. Okay, here's the Newport, and I'm not sure if I have the comp for that one, or I think I have a Newport comp, but I'm not sure if that's the paint scheme or not. Of course, remember, and this one, this is the model in the box that I needed, because this is going to be the next one I do to pose like the SE5. And because, as you remember, that, in fact, it's right here, this is supposed to be the same SE5 that is in the artwork. That's Goering's airplane. So, and I believe these are all Linwood paintings, and at least I know these are. And this Newport might be a different one. I'll have to check. Maybe we can talk about that at a live stream on Saturday. And I think I'll do it at 2 o'clock again is the tentative plan, because I have to go be with the family in the afternoon. Oh, these are great. I appreciate this. In fact, I'm about to get started on a big World War I kick. One of the reasons that I want to create some space in here is I want to get my World War I production line set up of airplanes, but I also want to get the Caterham and some of the other models going over here as well. So that way, when something's, you know, the glue on something's gassing out, or the paint's gassing out, or the glue's hardening, I can move over to something else and just keep it going. Dora Wings P63 King Cobra Air Racer, which reminds me, I got to get cracking on the Air Racer series. Oh, so many things to do. And Condor, I'm not that familiar with them. P51A, nice artwork on back too. I don't, when I years ago in the 90s, I was at a Chino, and the only flying P51A guy I was working on, he let me up on the wing, and that's a beautiful airplane. I know it was a much better airplane with the Rolls-Royce Merlin, but it's still, P51A still has some beautiful lines to it. Weekend edition Edward F6 F5 Hellcat. And I don't actually have one. This is 1/72nd scale. Okay, that's a big box for 1/72nd scale. Be interesting to compare it to the 1/72nd scale Airfix I have up there that's already made. Look at two of them side by side, see how they stack up, because that Airfix is a pretty good kit. And we have a 1/72nd scale Zero. Can't have too many zeros. And this guy in the Mustang should have already punched off his drop tanks. And that is from Hasegawa. Okay, this is, oh, I see, that's a box within a box. It's very cleverly packed with a box inside a box to give it some stiffener there. All right, this next, first off, thank you, Ed. And let me just set these right here. Try not to make a mess, Max. And let's see what else we got. I'm sorry, this is from Nathan in Rockland, Massachusetts. So before I get started, thank you, Nathan. Okay, we have Orion L17A, also known as the Navion. And this is in 1/72nd scale. I have an old Pegaso 148 scale, I think it's 148 scale, Navion, but that's one from the early Olin kits, which later became Lindbergh, which are literally just like 8-piece kits that are just stampings that have no glass or anything. The windows and everything are just lined out, or just lines on it. I think it's right over here. Oh, there it is. Anyway, I can't really get a good picture of it because it's way back in the back of the car. But it'd be nice to have a more. Well, let's take a look at it real quick. Well, yeah, let's take a look at it real quick. See if it's. Yes, this is definitely more detailed. It's got a separate canopy and everything. Oh, this has photo etch parts on 1/72nd scale and 2 different canopy options, open or closed. Well, that's just too cool. And it's going to be a little trickier to build. It looks like it's not a lot of parts, but getting all that photo etch and everything in there, ooh, that's going to be fun. That'll be interesting. And that's by Volome. All right, another Williams Brothers. They have yet to disappoint. The Martin B-10 bomber. Definitely have a shortage. You know, that'll actually go good with the air race aircraft because it's of that era. And it's a Williams Brothers. We have a book, Rocket and Space Corporation Energia. I actually don't have much documentation on the Russian Space Agency, so a lot of pictures in there. General Director and Designer Yuri Pavlovich Simonov. I hope I'm saying that right. That is a great source for me to catch up on. Yeah, I know so much about the American NASA and the American space program, but even today, but I'm kind of, that'll help fill in the gaps on what's going on in Russia. Airfix, the Royal Air Force Westland Sea King. Ooh, Tamiya. This is a Sky Raider, Tamiya Sky Raider. And let's see. Okay, 148 scale. This is the Navy version. That's bad. A1H. You know, one of these things once bagged a couple of these gasoline things. Actually got lucky and bagged a MiG once. It's also, believe it or not, Skyraider was the first airplane the U.S. Navy lost in Vietnam. It was, I think it was 2 flights of 4. A flight of 8 of them were out attacking some target, and one of them got shot down. It was the first American naval aviation loss of Vietnam. And they used those things till the wings just about fell off. P40N by Hasegawa. This is the whitetail, and I believe that's New Zealand markings off the top of my head. Actually saw a model of one of these. This is an N model. If you notice, it's got that square back canopy. And actually saw a model of one of these on display that was beautifully done when I was in New Zealand at the museum there. I believe it's in Wanaka. And great museum. If you ever get to the Transportation Museum, if you ever get a chance to get down there and see that, they got a great collection. They have some completely newly made Polycarpovs down there that were just, it was really wild to see the Russians can still make World War II aircraft. They like to keep those skills going. And see, here we have a Kawasaki Ki-45. I believe we called that the Nick. And it comes with the truck with the engine starter on it. Hasegawa. And let's see, got a couple more things in here. Oh, the Novo Supermarine S6B seaplane. Now this is, I believe this is 1/72nd scale. And I think I have this kit, because Novo got a lot of the old Frog kits, and I think Hans Peter sent me an old bag kit just like this that I have over there, or somebody, no, it was Hans, no, it was somebody else, I forget. But it's actually right over there, and it's probably the same kit made by Frog or Airfix, so it'll be interesting to compare the moldings on them. And, oh, you guys remember I talked about the Traveler Mystery Ship, but I never had a model one. Now I got the old Hawk/Testors Traveler Mystery Ship. That's great. Ooh, that's going to be fun to rig. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 16, about 20 pieces of rigging on it. And, you know, Pancho Barnes also got her hands on one of these for a while and flew it in the races and did fairly well with it. It's getting dated by then, but I think it's just a beautiful, cool looking airplane, you know. And one more. Oh, another racer to go with it. The Curtiss Racer, which that's the one Jimmy Doolittle was setting records in. Won the Schneider Cup. Oh man, these race planes. I mean, I know they were loud and noisy and greasy and smelly and cantankerous and dangerous, but there's just a certain romance to them. And it's just back when everything was new and unknown. So, first off, I want to say thanks both to Ed and to Nathan for all these beautiful kits. Have no idea when I'll get to them, but I will get to them. And I also want to remind you guys, like I said, probably do a live stream Saturday at 2 East Coast time, which should be 1400, which at, I believe we're 4, so it should be 1800 Zulu time. And wow, there's so many things going on, really just too much to talk about because I've really got my hands in too many fires. When I was making these little road builds, I had some little Russian decals left over because I was using, I'd accidentally put the set, the MiG came with your option of the Vietnamese or Israeli or Russian, and I think maybe Korean markings, and I dropped those in the water to soak to get ready for application by mistake because I'd cut them separately off. I'd cut them separately off of the decal sheet, and I realized no, those aren't the Foxbat decals, it's these other ones. So I put the Foxbat decals in the water. Well, since I had these extra decals I'd already soaked, and a couple of them were good, I was like, where am I going to put these things? I'm going to stuck a couple of them up on the door like I usually do with a lot of my decals. But then I was looking up at that CF105 that I need to get around to repainting and redecaling that was sent to me already built, that old Aurora kit. And I was thinking, so let's make a what if. What if the Russians had come across the north and the CF-105 had been built and had to go out and intercept her? So we have a man on his way to being the first Canadian ace of World War III. So anyway, on that happy thought, guys, that's pretty much all I've got for tonight. I hope everybody is having a great time. If I don't get to see you on the 3rd of July, Saturday at the live stream, hope everybody has a great weekend, 4th of July weekend. If you're here in the U.S., it's a big holiday. And unfortunately, I have to work on the 4th, but upside, it's a double pay day, so score. But guys, once again, I hope you're all doing well. It's glad to be back. I should be out here doing some building tomorrow. Maybe I can get the Buffalo finished. And take care of yourselves. Model on.